Good morning, 9 o'clock, August 29th, 2023 on a Tuesday. Mute the internal audio and get an audio check here. So only I hear it. Yep, that's working. What was it? Yeah, and it is about the right volume. So there we go. Oh, I got a bunch of stuff. I got a bunch of emails in here, and so I'm going to take some shortcuts for some of them. I got two in here on privacy.com just to point out to you, remind you that I use privacy.com credit cards, and these two were the charges from the ski boat on a Sunday. So it came out to, what was that, $246 for a 2 hour trip. And we did not, it was not a 3 hour cruise that we got lost forever. And had a great time. Got through it pretty decently regarding migraines. Only I'm on day 3 now of using migraine medicine, but I got through it, enjoying the day really well. Then let's see, from Josh Kinder, he sends information about the graphics card we asked about on Saturday. So here's the photo of the graphics card, and we get zoomed in here, and you can see the model number, and I put in a bookmark over here on today's bookmarks to show information about that graphics card. I was concerned about whether the power supply he had was adequate for it, and yes, it is. And here's the evidence for that. This is the graphics card, GeForce GTX, and it was interesting to me that that is completely shown in the model. Let's see, where did I go back here for this? Yeah, this 105 TW F2OC 105 TWF WindForce OC 4G. So the model number is very clearly this one. And the other ones that I had marked here, let's see, down here it says power recommended power supply unit 300 watts. He has a 500 some odd watt. Then over here, I went and looked at this. What power supply do I need for 1050 Ti? And this was saying Corsair 450. So it's power supply fine. What I didn't get from this, I haven't heard from Josh, not even on the Ken Stout show last night, was about his memory slots, because over here gave us a picture of the memory slots. He told us that he put the two memory boards in the black slots, but we looked up in the motherboard manual and it says you're supposed to use the gray slots if you only have two boards. So I haven't heard anything back from Josh whether he's done that and what the results were. On the Ken Stout live show last night, he was saying that this computer is still not functional, but hasn't given us I haven't heard the answer about those memory slots. And then this was just showing the CPU that he upgraded that computer to. So then I'll come back to these emails and see what's next. I got an email from Ken Stout. Now, this was really puzzling email when this came in. It had to do with what I showed yesterday. He asked a question in chat, how do you email yourself? Or Doug, how do you email yourself? He was asking Doug, how do you email to Doug? So I demonstrated. I want to compose a new email. And I'll go show that technique that I showed yesterday. I said type DOUG and then click on the one that shows up. That's how I email myself. Apparently, he thought I'm deducing, because I watched the Ken Stout show last night, and he said that he attempted to send an email to himself, but as of last evening, he still had not received it yet. And then I realized, oh, Doug, you did it again. See, Ken Stout hangs around with us so much that I kind of give him credit for being a techie. But no, he doesn't claim to be a techie. Once in a while claims he has 3.5 seconds of experience, but he's a normal. Okay, Ken Stout's we got to remember, he's a normal. And you got to think of him that way. So here's the email he sent to me. In the subject line, it says, my name. So I'm thinking he went to compose an email and maybe he was taking my instructions literally there, type in my name. That's what I enter for the to address for my name, but not the subject line. And then down here he says, this is the way Doug showed you, meaning he's talking to himself. Ken is talking to Ken. This is the way Doug showed you to email yourself, Ken. Bookmark, copy, paste, take a photo, but don't forget. I was real puzzled about this email when it first came in until I heard his show last night when he said that he tried it and he still had not received the email. So what I'm thinking he did is he clicked compose and did exactly what I demonstrated, type DOU, then click on the results, and he thought this was a way to email himself. So we got to make it clear to normals that Ken, what you have to do here to send an email to yourself, Ken Stout, is to put in an email address for Ken Stout, like kstout 2016 or your Zoom email, whatever you're wanting to actually, whichever email address you're actually wanting to send to. So let's make it clear to the Ken. Oh, I'm going to catch so much grief for that. All right, moving on. Brian. I got this email from Brian Lightfoot. He tells us the attached document was found on the dark web. Now, I assume by him. He doesn't say it was found by him. And I'm going to have to say this document was allegedly found on the dark web and may pertain to a relative of yours. This email was addressed to Doug, so he's saying a relative of mine. Here's the document found on the dark web, and the name of the document is Mr. Tim Stout. That seems interesting. Now that might be a relative to Ken Stout. My last name isn't Stout. Let's go see what this is all about. Let's see, where'd that go? Well, that one over here. So, Mr. Tim Stout. Where do I make this? This is showing in, let's go page width. How about that? I'll make it bigger. And then we can get rid of this panel over on the side by closing that. That makes it bigger. Mr. Tim Stout, at your request, I have completed a forensic examination of the video clip that you sent me that purports to show a Mr. Douglas Betting, similar to my name, claiming to be at Rancheria Falls in California. The video, coincidentally, I did recently put out a video clip showing myself to be at Rancheria Falls at Huntington Lake. The video clip that you sent me was forwarded to my processing laboratory in Madera, where my top-notch assistant, Mr. Alexander Graham Bell Cheeks, thoroughly examined the video. Here are the results on the examination. Metadata indicates that the video was edited in a pirated version of a free program by Adobe Premiere Pro. A pirated version of a free program, so you don't have to, you're pirating it, so you don't have to pay for it, but it's a freeware program. Now I was struggling over, is it Preminger or Preminger or Preminger? I don't know which way is right to pronounce that. The GPS coordinates from this video are all wrong, and it was probably filmed on a Hollywood soundstage located somewhere near Fresco, California. It seems this man is confused and doesn't know what he's doing. It is evident that this man was lost and was probably looking for some of that wacky tobacco, as evidenced by some of his clothing articles being worn backwards. Coincidentally, on that trip, I was wearing my baseball cap backwards. The Rancheria Falls is located some 58 miles north of where he shows on a map, obviously obtained from a local gas station, because that's how you show maps on the internet, is by getting them from gas stations. If anyone were to Google Rancheria Falls, they would end up at Yosemite National Park, which is nowhere near this Huntington Pack Lake, as claimed by Mr. Betting. Of course, coincidentally, there is a Rancheria Falls, both at Yosemite Yosemite National Park and at Huntington. There are other places. Here are 2 sample links that lead you to the real Rancheria Falls. The Happy Packers, not Happy Peckers, Happy Packers, Rancheria Falls, Yosemite National Park, World of Waterfalls, Waterfalls, Yosemite Rancheria Falls. Now, something I found kind of odd and surprising on one of these. Let's see, potentially harmful. That's fine. Let's go do that because we want to do potentially harmful. This is the Happy Packers. Let's see, there's that picture. Where's that picture that I wanted to get to? I think it was on the other, must have been on the other link. Yeah, let's get back to the other link. Go to this one, control click to get to it. Is it coming up? Is it coming up? Where is it coming up? Oh, answer yes, because I want to be this scene right here. Man, this scene is almost an identical match to a photo that I took at, not at Rancheria Falls, but at another waterfalls up in the Huntington Lake area that looks just like this. It's got water coming down this side, water coming down this side, and a rock right here, but it has a little different rock form up here, and then water coming down this way. This is another one of those similar things that Brian was saying that this document is found on the dark web is similar. Now, some of you may be wondering, how did Brian find this on the dark web? You simply go into your web browser settings and change to dark mode, because dark mode is how you get to the dark web, right? Aiden Standing. No, let's see, Brian. That was Brian. Aiden Standing. Then what is all this? Oh, this is a long one. I don't think I've read through all of this one yet. I think this is actually a tech issue. Aiden Standing came up with yet another computer problem on my hands. My sister's old laptop. I got her a new one last Christmas, as this one, the one with the problem, isn't supported. Wait a minute. Am I at his first email? Let's see. That one says 1 hour ago. This one says 2 hours ago. Yeah, so this is the first one. My sister's old laptop. I got her a new one last Christmas, as this one, the one with the problem, isn't supported on Windows 11. Has a rather strange issue. I managed to record a short video showing the issue as well as specs of the computer, including the Windows 10 version and edition. The video can be seen here. It is an unlisted video on YouTube on a second channel. If you would prefer me to supply it in another format, please let me know. I think that's fine. And I haven't read through this yet, so I guess gotta be a little careful about it. Is it okay for me to be showing this without having read it in advance? When I say read it, I mean me not having read it. I'm not referring to reddit.com. The laptop connects to Wi-Fi just fine, but something strange is going on with the Ethernet port when there is no cable connected. It thinks there is a cable connected, and when I plug in a cable, it no longer sees the phantom connection, but it doesn't see the actual network connection either. When I unplug the network cable after a few minutes, it then sees the phantom connection again. Well, my first suspicion, there's something wrong with the Ethernet port. Have you looked inside it with a flashlight to see if maybe there's something shorting pins in there? Again, this is the first read of this email. I don't have much hope in being able to get the Ethernet port working again. You can replace an Ethernet port in a laptop. You can generally order the replacement Ethernet port. And I don't mind if it ends up being a discussion of what could have caused that. Also, you could buy a USB Ethernet adapter. If it's just that you want to be connected by an Ethernet cable, buy a USB Ethernet adapter and plug the Ethernet cable in. My sister bought the laptop secondhand a few years ago. Where it was before then, I do not know. It may have come from some sort of education background, considering the edition of Windows 10 it came with. The laptop has an OEM license for that edition. Yeah, that's right. I remember now. He told us previously that it had an Education Edition of Windows 10. I did a clean install of Windows 10 less than 24 hours ago prior to recording the video, so there won't be any of my sister's information on it. Okay, so that means it's safe for me to play the video. And the Ethernet port wasn't working properly before the clean install anyway. Okay, and yes, there is cat hair on the keyboard. My sister has 2 cats. Is there cat hair in the Ethernet port? Yeah, I don't know if it is, whatchamacallit, conductive. Is cat hair electrically conductive? Yeah, let's see. If I click on that, it opens in a new page. I'm unmuting it. And let's see, unmuting the audio. I don't hear any audio yet. So he's going into Windows settings. Down here we see there's Wi-Fi connected currently. There's public network. There's Ethernet properties. He's got his Wi-Fi set as a public network, unidentified network port, and showing us there's nothing connected to the Ethernet port right now. And he does have his microphone on. I can hear movement, but he's not talking. So now I'm assuming he's going to plug in now wait, I'm going to go back. There's an Ethernet cable. Yeah, I want to go back a little bit and look at this Ethernet. It says here, unidentified network, no internet. So that's where he's saying that it's recognizing that it thinks there is a cable connected. All right, now I'm going to jump back forward a little bit to where he's going to connect the cable. We're assuming the other end of the cable is connected to a switch or a wall port, something that's a valid network connection. Plugs it in, pushes it in even harder. Not connected. Okay, so it says not connected now. And he takes it out. Still says not connected right now. And public network for the Wi-Fi. And it's closing. And it's a touch screen. Going back into settings. You can't quite see the screen. About. And he's showing us what computer it is. 4 gigabytes of memory, Windows 10 Pro Education. Let's go back and look at the Intel Pentium N4200. And he told us it's an old computer and was bought secondhand. Now there's another email. Get back to the right place. I do not have anybody to send you to as far as a redirect. Okay, get this position right. He says, few things I forgot to mention. The date of the date layout of any dates visible is date, month, year. Okay, it's unlikely I will be able to watch the stream live if you do cover this in today's stream, as the weekday streams are around the time I'm having dinner. Okay, so that's all. Few things he forgot to mention. I guess it's just those 2. Scroll down and see if there was anything else. Nope, nothing else mentioned. All right, now kind of want to review a piece of that. But this was showing at the beginning. There's the Wi-Fi, the public network, and when you connect unidentified network, no internet. When he plugs in the cable, it says not connected. All right. Yeah, they can examine the port. Maybe the port's defective. Now, is that all my emails? Yes, that's all my emails. So now I go catch up with chat. I don't see any show coming up for Ken Stout. I checked that before going live. If that status has changed, Ken, let me know in chat if you haven't already. We got an Instagram Shorts and Live showing up in chat. Hello to you. Robert at 8:09. Morning, afternoon. Need to add Jim's laugh to the trailer. Yeah, that would be a good idea. That was a trailer I did quite a long time ago and haven't played it for a long time. Greg M says, well, back from a client replaced a crapola power supply purchased on Amazon, which lasted 4 months in a Dell small form factor case. Luckily had a PSU from another Dell that I had repaired. I had similar disappointing experiences. So if I'm going to buy a aftermarket power supply on Amazon, I always want to read the reviews of it, but I typically prefer to buy from the manufacturer directly, saving $20, $30, $40 of a client's money. It's not worth the risk of having it go bad again. So in my environment, supporting business clients, I'm buying power supplies from the manufacturer usually. Oh shoot, I am not seeing the trailer. Can someone send it to me? Referring to the trailer, you can change / to just / and it would remove 2 syllables and mean the same thing. Just saying. I'm not understanding that. Referring to the trailer. Maybe it was something that was said during that trailer. Yeah, I don't know what that is about. Hello, Josh Kinder. Mike Wojcik. Dennis is still here. His appointment's 2 hours away. He's got an eye appointment this morning. I got an eye appointment on Friday, coincidentally. That's another dark web coincidence. Hey, how about that? Jeff Ryman, hello. Greg M, 1050 Ti. Does he have a 6-pin plug on the GPU? I was trying to spot that in those photos, and it looked like he kind of got close to showing us that over here on this photo where he's showing the memory slots. Let's see, there's the CPU cooler, and this I'm pretty sure is the video card. Then I was wondering, I first was questioning whether that was a power for the GPU, but no, that's something plugged into the motherboard. So we're not seeing the power connection. Oh, here it is. Here's the 6-pin for the graphics cards. So this would be because graphic cards need additional power. But I think if this is not connected, shouldn't the computer still boot? But Josh, right here, we asked you on Saturday about your power connection to the graphics card. This looks like a 6-pin power connection right here on the graphics card. So did you have that plugged in? And if not, I want to hear your answer about putting the memory in those gray slots and plugging in that power connector. Are you able to get the computer to boot? I don't know if a graphics card will, if you don't have power connected, will that prevent the computer from booting? Ken says he's here, but not sure he's awake. Nicholas, I'm mad at Jesse for not helping with the team. Nicholas, I think you're off base there. I don't think that's fair. So try to take a step back from that, or maybe give me a timestamp when you think that happened. Jesse is I heard you yelling out in this morning's Fortnite for Jesse to come help you, like it's kind of all about you, and that just seemed a little too self-involved. You weren't seeing Jesse at the time, so I got to tell you, lighten up on that. Brian, who's on first? Ken Stout, Oh, I put yourself in the send area. Got it. No, so now I was wondering, see, here, is this Ken admitting that he did this wrong, or is that Ken's sense of humor? I had it on my mind when I was thinking, how am I going to handle this, presenting that email from Ken? And this thing he said last night on his show about not receiving the email, I was imagining that after his live stream was over last night, that in the private Zoom session, there's always an after Zoom or after live stream Zoom session. I wouldn't be surprised if he clued in the Zoom homies. Now let's see if Doug falls for this. I baited him. And he might have told his Zoom homies that he sent me this email. And then he made that comment on his show last night to see if Doug takes the bait and harasses me over doing that email technique wrong. Or was this a genuine, normal person behavior by Ken Stout? I don't know. Are you putting in your mental calculator, Doug, that Ken has multiple personalities to deal with, especially when it comes to email? Oh, yeah. Ken is a multiple personality order, not disorder. It's not a disorder, it's an order. Josh, I can read that. No idea what you're referring to there. Lawn Dog, well, it's possible. It's also possible, Ken Stout Live, that the person who sent you that was located in a place called Reedley, California. That is where they found a biolab, and who knows what's floating in the air at that location because mental issues. Great reference, Wintermute. Thanks for the tip. So let's see what Wintermute's got here for us. Aha, Marge. I better not play that. That'll be a copyright issue, perhaps. Things I can't find otherwise. Oh, I think she's tapping on the bed trying to find the phone. No, she found it. All right. Well, I'll look more at that later. Dog, well, the fact that it is secondhand, it may have had this problem before, but check the Ethernet jack. And then I would reinstall the driver, uninstall it first, and let Windows reinstall it. I'm really doubting that's a driver issue, but sure. Well, he reinstalled Windows. That's sufficient. He had the problem before reinstalling Windows, and he reinstalled Windows, still had the same problem. So, no, not a driver. Here's another thing to try: get a copy of Live Linux, disconnect, and try booting that to see how the Ethernet port behaves. I think that's overkill. Instagram shorts and lives, that's cool. No idea what you're referring to. This should verify that the Ethernet port is working electronically correct. Well, it's not working electronically correct. We've seen enough of that. That's what mine says. What's he referring to? Mine I read. Mine I was able to connect my cell booster to my laptop. It's me till Tim. Oh, this is Tim Cruz, isn't it? Ken says hello to him. Instagram says I'm on my other account. I think this is Tim Cruz. That's because it defaults to 169 IP address when it does not get a DHCP response, right? Onboard Nix die does not show device manager. It could be just, yeah, that's right. It could just be an IP address. It might be connected. So here's another thing to look at. Let's see, he's in Windows 10. This is Windows 11. How do I get to that? I want to get to, where do I get to the same settings the same screen that Windows 10 has? Let's try it with Control Panel. I'm looking for the place where you can see status connected for network and sharing, change adapter settings. Yeah, this panel here. Right click here, status, media state enabled. There's another duration, media state enabled. Maybe it's command line that I'm thinking of. Is it IP config I'm thinking of? Where it'll show, yeah, and here, media disconnected. So check in here when you don't have an Ethernet cable, when you do have it, connected? Does it say that it's connected? It's possible it does say connected, but it's picking up a generic IP address because it's failing to pick up a DHCP address, in which case you can go into properties for that Ethernet adapter, go to the IP protocol version 4 properties and put in an IP address. Use a similar IP address to what your Wi-Fi is showing. So it's probably 192, something like 192.168.1 dot something or other. I'm typing these numbers all fudge bunny wrong. 192.168. Yeah. So whatever your Wi-Fi address is showing up, put in a similar address, but just change the last 3 digits. But I think you already know that. Because that might be all that's happening is it's not getting internet connection, but that the Ethernet is connected successfully to your network switch. Could that be what's going on? So that's what Greg M, I think, was getting at. Thank you, Ken. It's me, official Tim Tech. Yep, Tim Cruz. When I entered a different IP, then it automatically works for my cell booster. I think that must be follow-up to some prior conversation. Greg M, Londog to Greg. If she were to boot Windows in safe mode with Ethernet, that also might tell us something about the hardware versus software. John Williams, could be bad Ethernet cable. Yeah, make sure that Ethernet cable, do you connect it to another computer and get internet connection? Because we're also checking the network switch that you're connected to or the wall port that you're connected to. Okay, scheduling stream now for when you are done. Okay, Ken, I will schedule you before I will end this live stream. If I can stop saying the word will 13,000 times. Jim, bad port most likely, maybe bad network chip. You can always disable the port in BIOS. Yes, indeedy. Greg M, did he just say yes, indeedy? Ugh. Greg M, Dell does not sell these PSUs new. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's when I buy them aftermarket, but check the reviews. Dell does sell PSU with 90-day warranty. It's a standard pin power supply, but standard PSU won't fit the case. Very good. Dennis giving us something here. Get pause right away. And he's giving, Fortnite crowns with Doug and followers, 20 seconds. Premieres in 87 minutes. So that's what Dennis has given us, a premiere here. So you can go click on that, bring it up in another page and pause it. So you can go watch it after my show and Ken's shows are done. Daniel Emberley, good desktop power supply, lengthy reviews on Tom hardware. You may have to know how to design power supplies to fully understand them. Greg M, again, this is a Dell small form factor PSU. The options are extremely limited. These PSUs are cheaply made. Agreed. Londog, live Windows training. It's possible that the computer might not boot or start up without power plug into the graphics card. Think about system checks that the computer goes through at boot up. Dennis says remove forward from / to just say flash / and just say flash. See, I was wondering if Dennis was referring to, he put in this. When I first saw that, I was wondering if he's changing this / just say flash / oh, he's given us an abbreviation for /. So he's doing a mashup, I think. So instead of saying / just say flash, because you're putting the F on the beginning of the word slash. So that's his way of meaning of / the one that's on the question mark key. I think that's what he's saying there. Slash, not flash crap. Oh no, he did a typo here. He meant to say slash here. / Okay, maybe what he's saying is instead of say forward slash, just say slash. That is technically correct because backslash is the other one that leans backwards. Forward slash, you should just be able to say slash. But I always say forward slash because not everybody is technical enough to know that. I think I got right what he's saying there. Selden Ball. My impression is that some graphic cards will display a short textual error message on screen if the power cable is not connected. Apparently that is not the case for Josh's card though. Well, that might be the case. Ken Stout, today's show is scheduled. Can you post a link for the trailer, please? He wants a link for my trailer from today. So if I come up here, today's show, and then go history, and then here is a link for today's trailer. Nope, that's not it. Oh, I pasted that too quick. Let's see. Remove that message. Oops. Why did I not? How did I not get that copied? Did I not click the copy button? There we go. Yeah, that was a big oops. Now I gotta go find where it was. So I'm doing Control F, search for the word trailer, and get to where Ken asked for the trailer. Can you post a link? Got it? I'm going overtime here, apparently. Boss351. There's a bunch of smart people here. I have a bizarre problem. Computer monitor goes blank when I unplug something from a separate outlet, but on the same circuit. All right, I'm interested in this. Let's see. Boss35, I recognize your name. Do I know you from Carrie's channel, maybe? Why do I recognize your name, Boss351? You're not blue, so you haven't been around here much. Maybe you've made comments on my videos. Why do I recognize your name? There is a bunch of smart people here. I have a bizarre problem. Computer monitor goes blank when I unplug something from a separate power outlet, but on the same circuit. I have things that happen on my monitors here when I unplug something or plug something in or turn something on or off, particularly when when I restart Big Beast. Baby Beast has a screen thing, but those computers are connected because of that capture card. Where is it that I have something like that? I'm going to wait to see what people respond to on that. Computer monitor goes blank when I unplug something. I'm wondering if it might be, is the computer monitor plugged into a surge suppressor? I'm thinking that maybe if you're close to the amperage limit for your circuit, when you plug something in or unplug it, is your monitor sensing a power fluctuation such that it's protecting itself by shutting off that power? If you plug it into a surge suppressor, do you get a different behavior? Maybe somebody knows something about this effect. I don't really know what's causing that, but I'm curious, very curious. It goes, Londog, it goes around looking for all the hardware it may know. It has a graphics card, but it may not be getting a signal that it's plugged in, kind of like what happens with the motherboard. I think it's pin 20 on the motherboard. I know where it is. It's the return loop to show that power is going through the motherboard and will tell the machine to turn next on. Okay, I think Londog and I are kind of not as well informed as some other people might be about Josh's graphics card. Without that power connected, will that prevent it from booting? Dennis put in a link for my trailer. Wintermute to Ken Stout. Let's see, what is this one about? Oh, this is actually the original. Yeah, this is the original for mobile form of that trailer. It was not originally intended as a trailer, but it shows up on my trailers list. It was originally created as a YouTube short. Ken Stout says, thanks, Ran Israel, ncpa.cpl. That's a control panel. Oh, I see what you're giving us. ncpa.cpl. Ran Israel comes up with these all the time that gets you straight into this, whatever it is that I'm trying to get into. The problem is, will I remember that? Well, network control panel add-in. I think that's what that is. That's for the Microsoft plugins, whatever they call that. Network control panel add-in, and they all have an extension of CPL. There's lots of different things that you can do .cpl to bring up different interfaces. I got good news, everyone. Lenovo called me. I'm getting a new laptop. They're not fixing his old laptop. They're sending him a new one because it's taking way too long to arrive. Wow. This is all by virtue of him buying the extended warranty. I think he had the original warranty, bought an extended, it expired. He bought another extended, top of the line, the top extended that he could. He's getting a new laptop because of that bad spinning hard drive. That's a fairly simple fix. But they found that he had a cracked case as well. On their initiative, they were pursuing replacing the case. Now that's taken too long. They're going to give him a new laptop, maybe a refurbished laptop, but it's a completely different laptop. Score. Ken Stout Live puts in a link to his Premiere or Live. I think it's a Live. Yeah, certainly he didn't have it scheduled ahead, so I'm sure it's a Live. Ken, my name is not Will. I am Groot. All right, Groot, I will start calling you that instead of Ken or Will. I don't know where that came from. Will? I don't know. Something I said back there he's making reference to that it's totally lost. How to configure IP manually in Windows 10. So Greg's giving, let's see, I got another uBlock origin, block this. So here's the detailed instructions for configuring the IP address. I think our questioner in that case probably knows how to do that. That was that was Aiden Standing. He's been around enough that I think he knows how to do IP addresses, but I don't know. I only work here. My Premiere is members only in the chat for Dennis. You cannot comment normally below. You can comment normally below the video even if you're not a member. I think I need to get out of here. Oh, boss says a brand new build when it started, it is plugged into Surge Protector. So the monitor is plugged into a Surge Protector. Could the Surge Protector be it? Now, is it a good condition Surge Protector? A lot of times people have Surge Protectors left over that have years of life on them, and they don't do a good job of protecting, because after they've protected you from surges, they wear down. They're no longer may be able to give you proper protection. Had to reload drivers sometimes. It was a brand new build when it started. It was a monitor that he was having the issue with. Happy birthday to Ida, Dennis's wife, Ida. Happy birthday, Ida. Happy birthday to Mrs. DDT. I think I'm kind of caught up. Boss 351 says maybe. I don't know what that was in response to. I said too many things to know what that. Brand new with the build. So the Surge Protector is brand new with the build. See, people leave out things thinking that I'm going to know what they're referring to. The Surge Protector, brand new with the build. That would be clear. Brand new with the build, I don't know, is that the monitor? But I think you mean the Surge Protector. Doug, is there a possibility the power cord has problems meeting and intermittent connection? It could be in the actual connector and the wire at the plug, both male and female. I kind of doubt that. I'm not sure we're very clear on what his actual problem was. So I think what his actual problem was is his monitor blanks out when he plugs in or unplugs something else. Well, what is it? What is it that you unplug? Unplug something from a separate outlet on the same circuit. What is it that you're unplugging? And is that other device turned on when you plug it in or unplug it? Is there something wrong with that other device? Does this happen with multiple different devices when you plug them in or unplug them from a different outlet on the same circuit? Okay, while you have a chance to respond to that, I'm going to go program the redirect to Ken Stout's live show. Adding redirect. There's Ken Stout. And save that. And then back to chat, see if there's anything else there. Under cable isn't fully seated. You're talking to electricians. I've seen this many times. Selden was asking how far apart are the two cables. If the monitor's cable isn't fully seated at both ends, bumping it can cause a problem. Okay, nothing more from Boss. All right, I'm going to bounce out of here. Thanks for watching. Ken's show is up next. In the chat, if you pause this video, the chat will stay available to you long enough that you can click on the other links that have been provided in the chat. If the redirect takes you over to Ken's show, you will lose the chat room links that are there now. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Goodbye.